So let me ask you the first question, which is I think what people are really interested in with most astronauts, which is what got you started on this path? When did you get the bug? When did you first say to yourself, and why? So you know what? I want to be an astronaut.
The first book I ever read in kindergarten was about Apollo, and I was hooked. Huge rockets going into space, blasting off in fire, going to other planets, going to the moon. That's what I wanted to be at a really young age.
So when you began your journey towards this objective, what were the things that kept you going? Because it's a tough road. I mean, it's not an easy thing to decide to be, and there's a lot of reasons to give up, I'm sure, along the way.
Right. If you want to be an astronaut, it's an impossible dream. It can't happen, and that I never really thought I would ever be able to make this happen. But along the way, I always kept doing what I needed to do, going to college and getting a technical degree. I was a math major. Went to the Air Force Academy and I became a pilot. When I was an F-16 fighter pilot, I said, well, I really want to be an astronaut and I need to be a test pilot to do that, so I went to Edwards Air Force Base and learned how to be a test pilot, not really thinking that I would actually get picked. In fact, my wife told me that she would buy me, I could get whatever car I wanted if I got picked, because she knew I wouldn't get picked. And then I got selected, so I got a BMW.
Not a Corvette? I thought all astronauts got Corvettes.
Well, I thought about it, but we just came from Germany, so I had the BMW bug. And so anyway, it's one of those things that I wanted to do it, so I did what was necessary, not really thinking that it would come true, but it did, and it worked out for me.
So now that you've been to outer space, you've been on the space station, what are those moments that you look back on and you say, wow, that was magnificent? I'm sure they're all magnificent, but there's got to be a few that really stand out.
Our flight was 2 weeks long, and so from the moment that the engines lit on the pad, I had experience after experience after experience that were moments of a lifetime, things that I had never seen or done or felt or heard before. And that continued for 2 weeks. I mean, every day there was some moment of wow, just floating. You know, I'd be floating and I'd see my crewmate and I'd say, man, this is awesome. It's so much fun to float. You look out at the Earth and see things that you've never imagined seeing before. A lot of people say, what's your favorite planet? And people say, oh, Mars or Jupiter or Saturn. And I think after being in space, everybody's favorite planet is Earth, because man, looking back at the Earth is just awesome. It's a cool planet, and it's kind of like you're in creation looking back at this awesome planet that God made, so it was really cool.
Terry, as a pilot, it seems like music, whether it was from Top Gun or other types of things, do you have a favorite music when you fly or in space, or something that kind of pops to mind?
One of the things,
look at me when you're answering.
One of the things that we do on space shuttle flights is wake up music, and so my family was able to pick 3 songs for me, and I had a song, Stephen Curtis Chapman did one, and the Newsboys did one, and on the first day, Brandon Heath wrote this song called "Give Me Your Eyes," and we were asleep, and the music was going off, and I was like, all right, I know this is my song, and I floated up, and all the windows were covered up, and this is my first wake up in space, and I opened up the window covers and there was the Pacific Ocean going by, and it was just striking to hear the song "Give Me Your Eyes," and you know, seeing the Earth for my first morning in space, that was awesome.
Last question. Do you use social media, and what role do you see social media taking?
I'm sorry, just 1 second. Let me just do that so that doesn't happen again. Okay.
So do you use social media and your colleagues? And what do you see?
I don't. Sorry.
You don't? Okay.
I wish I had time. I don't.
In the environment, do many of your colleagues spend time doing that?
Social media is important for getting our message out. It's the way a lot of people communicate nowadays. It's a great way for guys on the space station, because you're there for almost 6 months to get the message out about the science that we're doing in space, just all the different things that are going on. We have this continuing space mission, and it's a great way to communicate with folks. And so a lot of different astronauts have really used the social media, and I think when you fly, that's a big part of how you communicate with people on Earth.